Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is going to be Slickrock Trail, but the dotted white dots. I don't know what else to call it. I guess the white dots. It's the middle section of the Slickrock area. It's legal. There's just these round dots, and you just have to know where to find it and connect to it. And then you can go into the center of the Slickrock circle, if you will, if you look at the map, and it goes across from west to east to north to south. It's really difficult to trail find, so it is what it is when you can find the little dots. I typically have gone in from this side and gone to the middle and gone south, but this time we ended up going to the middle and going north because I don't know, I couldn't find the dot that I wanted to go south. What you'll do if you can go south is you'll end up at the Hell's Revenge hot tubs, and you'll be right there, and then you can get to the Mountain View Cave and all that good stuff. But in another video I will be showing you the Mountain View Cave, and I'll show you the hot tubs, and we'll do Hell's Gate and all that good stuff. But this is just a short video to show you there are these dots. Go explore, go find them. And it's a little bit slower going because you do have to trail find to find the next dot. So I find that kind of interesting, and it's just nice because you'll never see anyone out here. Well, I don't know, maybe because of my video then it will become too crowded and I'll get yelled at for making this video showing people the secret area. I don't know, I've made other videos and it hasn't really led to an increase of people being in the dots because it's hard to find it. You know, I'm just one of those, once I find something, I have a pretty good memory of, you know, sticking to it. You can see here we're stopping, we're looking around, we're like, okay, dots look like they go over there. See, I kind of point to it, it's over there on the ground. Sometimes they look like LG spots, so you gotta be careful if it's a painted dot or not. Like there's one right there, and you know, it's really steep along here, so I do recall this, and I'm like, okay, it goes down, I believe it goes to the left, and I'm just looking for that next dot. Like there's one, and you know, we continue on down. It's really steep, but it is slick rock, so you have a lot of grip, but at the same time, you know, you want to be careful. You just want to be careful. So I've actually explored this area pretty good because one time we continued straight because the first time there we had no idea where the next dot was. So sometimes that will happen, and you'll just have to go back, retrace your steps, and then maybe go a different direction and look for those dots. It's just so pretty out here, and not having any other vehicles or people, it's just really nice. I'm guessing the mountain bikers really don't do these because it is hard trail finding, and for them, imagine pedaling one way and then finding out you have to pedal all the way back the other way, back to the last dot you saw. That would just stink, right? So I just have never seen anyone out here, and it has its hard spots to it, and it has exposure, so you wouldn't want to fall and slide down one of these sides because it's as steep as it looks on video here. It's pretty steep, you know, so be careful if you're going to explore and find these. And I started this video off where in the last one for Slickrock, I pointed out like it's off to the right, so that's where this video starts off. Drop down, it's off to the right. So if you recognize that spot when you're out there, feel free to have a look. Worst case is you come back to the dash lines and you just continue on the dash lines if you think you can't really handle the dots. Like I said, the dots, there's quite a few trails within the dotted section. It's just, it's hard to find them, and yeah, it's some of them is best to catch in other spots to be able to maybe work your way north or whatever. You know, like from the hot tub, you can find those dots off to the one side of the tubs, and I think it's the west side, and you could either go to the Mountain View Cave, you can head down, it's really steep and that will freak you out, or you can head north and tie back into all this stuff. And you know, here we go, you can see that it's pretty flowy. If it was well marked, you'd be able to like cruise along like you can with the main trail, but unfortunately you just can't do that because you know, you're looking for your trail, you're making sure you're not going to go off a cliff or something, you know, or down something really steep that you can't get out of. And as you can see, it's been pretty wet this year at the beginning of spring because everything is really green. This is how the camera picked it up. I haven't adjusted the color in the video at all. I've just been letting it capture the color. I used to film in RAW, and it then I have to do the color adjustment. I find that the Osmo Action 3 actually does a really good job, and that's pretty much how I saw it that day. So it's, I think, spot on. Now, could you adjust the color somewhat from time to time? Sure, but I don't think you really need to. Especially with these cameras, they're getting better and better at, you know, gathering as the eye would have seen this. Like, this is how I saw the colors that day. So why mess with like color gradients and all that unless you're in a dark environment and you need to play with the brightness. So I've gone back to the camera, just doing it all. And yeah, so you have to come up here. And it's like, where do I go? So that's why I stop. Like, am I correct? Where do I go? Okay, let's continue. You know, because sometimes you need to get to the top of stuff to find your next dot. I'm like, there's one, boom. You know, I point them out because it's kind of just a scavenger hunt. Oh, right here, we get lost for a while. I'm like thinking, I don't see a dot, but practically it seems like it would go off to the right. But I don't know, that's green area, and they don't typically, you know, direct you through that kind of desert environment. And I don't see any tracks down there through the sand, you know, because you would see tracks. So I'm like, well, maybe it's this way. I don't recall, you know, take a look, putts over here. I'm like, I just don't see anything. I don't see where the trail would naturally go because I have an idea of where the trail ends up, but I'm not 100% sure how you get there by zigzagging, you know? So I'm like, okay, it has to be back that direction. It's not going to be that way. So let's continue. And remember, we're in the center. Eventually, we're going to hit Slickrock Trail. That's a big circle. Or we're going to hit like Hell's Revenge or something, one of the, you know, the Jeep Trail. So it's not like you're going to get totally lost. And there's so much stuff here on the rock that you could explore. And I'm like, oh, it goes up. See the dot there? Oh, it goes up this steep thing. Okay, let's go up there. But I'm like, I don't know which way it goes. You got to look for that dot right there. You know, you just look for those dot, another dot. So you just have to look for it. But yeah, you're not going to get lost out here really per se, because you're going to eventually run into Slickrock Trail, which is well marked with the dashes, or you're going to come across Hell's Revenge, one of their trails, and you know, it's all black from the tires. So it's very easy then to find your way out if you come to Hell's Revenge. Just take that and follow that kind of like southish, and you will eventually, you know, get out of the area, the trail area, and back to a road. But as you see, awesome views out here though. And then once again, we get to a spot here. There's all these little rocks. It's kind of a unique, you know, rock feature, how the rocks are all sitting on top here and then sticking out of the kind of like sandstone, you know, the petrified slick rock, the dunes. And I'm like, I think it goes through that area, but who the heck knows? So, you know, we're pointing, we're looking. I'm like, yeah, maybe go explore off to the left there, because for some reason it just felt right. You know, I have been through these areas a few times, not as much as the main trail. So I'm just like, it just feels right that it goes this way. Let's have a look, you know? So we go that way and, you know, looking around, as that's why my helmet's moving around quite a bit. And I'm like, there we go, there we go, there we go. And there we go, you know, it's like, well, if it shouldn't go to the left, we're going to be coming out here shortly, I believe. I'm not running a GPS at this time. There's a dot. But it feels like we should be getting to Slickrock Trail because of the what's up ahead, you know, just the visual aspect. And then here we go. We're going to be coming out of it here, and thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.